Good morning and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, probably about an hour ago, I guess, I replied to a comment that I think it was Ted made. We're talking about accidentally deleting files. Remember, I was accidentally deleted some files here last night, and I think I told him that I had only selected one file that was in my camera's memory card when I should have selected, I'm guessing there was probably about 8 of them. And I'd only selected one and dragged it into the special folder in my computer. But that, thinking about it later, that's not what happened. And I don't know why I'm telling you this, except that it's been on my mind because I hardly ever do this sort of thing. Well, I think maybe once a year something like this will go wrong. But anyway, thinking about it now, this is what happened. For those of you that want to know. Okay, I opened up the files on the memory card. I opened up the memory card, saw all the files, selected all the files, and then I dragged them into my special folder. And then that little box that comes up, like I use Windows. And that little box that comes up, and it says it's going to take X number of minutes or hours or whatever, and there's a little line that goes across. And okay, what happened was, I saw that, and I remember thinking, okay, it's quite a lot there. It's going really, really slow, and I can actually remember this now that I think back. And then I got up from the computer, and I went to do something that took several minutes, but I must have inadvertently, when I got up and I was clicking around with my CDP, compulsive poking disorder, I must have inadvertently clicked that little box off that was automatically transferring the files. And as best I remember, it doesn't give you any warning that says, are you sure you want to do this? It just stops. And then only the files that have been transferred from the SD card into the other folder will actually be there. The rest of them, you got to start all over again. And now that I think back, that's what must have happened, because when I came back to the computer, the little box was gone that said how many minutes were left to transfer and so on. That was gone, so I thought, okay, they're all transferred. And what I do is I automatically will then delete all the files on my camera's memory card, especially if I'm shooting in 8K, because they are huge. And you don't want to be taking up all that space. Anyway, all the other files are 4K 60 frames a second. They're pretty big too, but they're not like I know some of the creators are still using 720p at 30 frames a second. Well, those are nice small little files. They transfer fast. They're easy to render into a video. I can see why people do that. I go for sharpness and I color grade almost every scene. Well, that's not true. Not in 4K 60, but in 8K RAW, I color grade every single clip, and it takes a lot of time. Well, I think I mentioned this. Those 8K files are. I'm going to make a graph to show the difference. People just don't understand. They might think, well, why don't you do all your shooting in 8K and just let it dumb down to 4K 60? And well, the reason for that is because it's a lot more time consuming. Now, wasn't that all interesting? Okay, so the bottom line is, Ted, I told you the wrong thing. Yeah, I did select all the files. I just shut it off before it was done copying. Now, wouldn't it have been a lot easier if I had just said that at the beginning instead of going into a big, long rigmarole here? Okay, we are still on step 33. I have done nothing on our little parts here yet, but I intend to. I'm going to trim them up here, and we'll glue together our K40 and K58, and also those little brackets that go into the sides of these things. And I have a tendency to want to pick these up, but then I tell myself, no, don't touch them. You just look at them and they'll bend out of shape. Okay, yeah, they're actually going to, as Jason said, once they're painted, they're going to look pretty good. At least I think it was Jason. Yeah, they will look good once they're painted. All that solder that I've got all over the place, you're not going to see that, especially at arm's length. Okay, let's get going here today. We do have some more photo etch to do in step 33, just a little bit here on the at the end. Enough lip flapping, and let's get on with it. Okay, I have just finished nipping off all the little parts here, or not nipping them off, cleaning them up, getting the sprue off, and I was going to get my vacuum cleaner going here and just vacuum this up, which is what I normally do. And I thought, you know what, I might be needing these. I might not have enough sprue for our sprue pan, the one that I want to do, not the blue ones, but the green one. Okay, so we'll just hang on to these. Eventually it'll be less that I'll have to nip up later if I need more. Okay, moving from left to right. And we may as well do the 55 and 26. So here's the 55. Try and orientate it so that it's going to look like what we've got going on there. Okay, so this part obviously goes right there somehow. So I guess it's going to have to... Oh, look at this. It stands up like one of Gabe's little 1/200 scale people. Okay, give you an idea of the size of that. Hey! My goodness. He's lost his head. I guess I must have broke it off. Sorry, Gabe. Okay. Yeah, Barnacle Bill has lost his head. Okay, now here's the 20, excuse me, the 26. This might be the sort of thing I may not be able to do on camera. On the other hand, let's just have a little peek here. Maybe we let gravity be our friend. Maybe I should put the macro lens on. Yeah. Okay, I gotta swing this stuff around so that I can grab onto it good. And yeah, you can see how this is going to fit together very nicely. Something like that. At least it looks good to me. I think maybe if I was to put a little bit of Tamiya extra thin quick setting on that, those pieces would probably... I know I could use the regular extra thin, but because the extra thin has such a melding and or maybe a melting property to it, it might be I might lose some of my detail. Like I believe this thing that I'm just touching right now is the little peg that has to go into the side of that photo etch part that drove us all crazy. Yeah, okay, let me just get this off of the paper here. Okay, now for holding them together while the glue is drying, which is going to happen actually pretty fast. I might be able to just hold them with my fingers, but this is way too strong. And Chris's alligator clips, they probably bite into the plastic without the heat shrink tubing on there, and the Tamiya quick setting might dissolve that plastic. I don't know. I haven't tested it. And these are pretty strong as well. However, if you will recall, I had made up and not used. I didn't think I would. I thought I would use these a lot more than I have, but I made up these little clamps that will hold something like this, and they are sort of adjustable. Okay, now we will get that in there, but what I wanted to show you was that what I can do is if I slide this into the crack, you can adjust the pressure on the tweezer, and that's kind of my plan right now. But how am I going to be able to position them? I don't want to squeeze them really hard. Okay, I'm just gonna set it up, and then we'll recompose later with the macro lens, and we'll apply some of the glue. Okay, what I had originally planned here was having all four of these in the field of view here when I slipped the macro lens on, but they just weren't working out. These blocks here were just bumping into each other. All right, let's slip on the macro lens. Okay, I realize it looks like they're not fitting together too good, but they actually, from a distance, they look really good. Anyway, let's get our quick setting here. Just put a little bit on right here. And some right here. Now we'll get some on the bottom. Should flow in pretty good. Okay, I think we got it. And this one here. Okay, maybe when I release the pressure on those, they'll sort of straighten out a little bit, just in case it is the clamp is pushing too hard. Okay, if we go by the manual here, this piece would be this piece, and this piece would be this piece. That's sort of falling together. Yeah, it actually is. I think here again we could probably use the quick setting. Gonna have to hold it together right here pretty good though. Or maybe not. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to clamp this together. Okay, I believe I've got this right. Okay, it goes there. Then having trouble holding, I need 3 hands, that's the problem. Okay, yeah, I think if I use clamps we can get, oh, I could do it upside down. What's the matter with me here? I don't want to break anything though. We'll get it. We'll get it. Okay, that should work. Okay, clearly now there's going to be a right way and a wrong way to put these on. And these little square pegs will have to go down into those little square holes, which they are doing quite nicely actually. Now, we don't want to glue these into place until, let's see now, I think it would be possible to do it wrong. No, if this one, why are these different? They should They should be the same. No, oh, I see what it is. The one will lean sort of one way and the other the other. Okay, would it be like... This one's not going as good. Maybe I didn't get the flashing off of it as good as I should have. Anyway, I think you get the idea of what we got to do. But what I want to figure out is, why was there 4 separate pieces? Why not have... Okay, I'm just going to take a look at the manual here. Okay, this one here, it's got a little bump. If you'll notice, there's a little bump right there. Does this one have it? And this one does not have it. Okay. Or is that maybe where I nipped off the sprue? You know, if they're that similar, what's the difference? I thought that maybe one had a tendency to lean a little bit more one way than the other. I don't mean leaning in towards the peg. I meant leaning, you know, either this way or this way off the base, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that. Okay, just let me look at the manual, see if I can notice anything different. Okay, I've got it figured out. A little square bump that I saw, if you look at it really close, it's some sort of a control box. So what we have is, you have one of these that's got the box on one side, and they'll go something like this. Just get it turned over here. Okay, so this pair will hold onto one of the antennas, and this pair will hold onto the other. And then they're going to mount in those appropriate holes. But we do not put them in the appropriate holes until after everything is painted. Unless I was to just put one side in, if I was to put just one side in, then all we'd have to do is worry about gluing the other side down after the photo etch part is mounted on here. Now, what do we got here? 15 seconds to noon. Okay, I think I'm going to go put a couple of carrots in the microwave oven. And later on this afternoon, my son is coming over and he's going to help me get the winter tires off and the summer tires on. That's always a good feeling. It's, yeah. In the fall, when we're putting the winter tires on, that's sort of a... Anyway, we won't go there. I go there way too much, don't I, about winter? I make too big a deal about it. Anyway, yeah, well, you just wait until you're pushing 80. Well, I'm not pushing 80. Well, I will be pretty soon. Anyway, you just wait until you're older, and you're going to look at winter in a whole new light. Okay, let's move on here. Well, no, I'm going to go to the carrot thing. Yeah. Pretend I'm a rabbit. Okay, the carrots are in the microwave. And the way these are set up, okay, here's one with a little bump. And obviously it has to face in. But it is actually different from the other one. So if we put one that... Oh! Carrots are ready. Okay, if we put one of these... Well, in other words, what we're going to do is we're going to use the ones that have the little box on them. We'll put those on. And the other ones we'll put on afterwards. Like, I know it looks like there might be something right there, but I think that's sprue or something. A sprue connection, but I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to go ahead and try and drop one of these in place here, and maybe we'll move in a little bit. Okay, that looks straight. No use poking at it anymore. And we'll get our quick setting underneath there. Give enough that it's going to meld. Okay. Let me look straight down on these. Okay, this one here, it almost appears that it has to go clockwise a bit from my perspective. Okay, let's let that cure, and they'll be ready to paint. Okay, we are moving on to the last part of step 33 now, and we need piece photo etch 20C or C20. So it will be in here, and we actually need two of them, so there's two C's. And I guess we'll deal with them one at a time here. And number 20, maybe I need my stronger glasses on. Have I got this right side up? No, got it upside down. Okay. Okay, so, well, we'll find it. Anyway, let's get this little piece of photo etch here. Okay, here we are, number 20. Okay, that's this one right here. Okay, now if I've done the final edit right, which I haven't done yet, you should hear the music playing, because we're just about ready to wrap her up here. Did I miss that? Hope I didn't damage it. Okay. Okay, and I have to do this one more time on the other C fret. Very carefully. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to say thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.